So good morning. So we're going to debug few myths about doing MBA in a foreign university. This is Pooja. Say hi to the chat.
Okay, so give us an insight of what you have done so far. Starting with your bachelor's.
I did my bachelor's in business administration, and then I did my master's in professional accounting and master's in business administration, which is basically MBA.
It's two courses combined, or
Yeah, it's a dual master's course.
which university?
Jamescookuniversity.
Singapore.
Yeah, but it's
So-
an Australian-based university.
Okay, that's interesting. So, how was the process like? Starting off from the starting, how did you plan everything?
I don't know. I think it was that. It was between. It was those first couple of months after I was done with my bachelor's, and you have no clue what you're doing in life, which is basically what I'm doing right now. But yeah, and then I found this course, and I've always had this interest towards accounting and management, so I think it fit the
Right,
bill
and
for me,
position.
and yeah, that's how I went about it.
How was the admissions like? Which exams did you write? And
Okay, for me, I wasn't required to because I did my I did IGCSE for my 10th grade, like 8th, 9th, 10th. I did IGCSE, so they considered that for my.
so no
TOEFL.
extra exam.
Yeah,
Only for TOEFL.
yeah, for TOEFL, I was supposed to write that, but then because I had done IGCSE, I wasn't required to, and yeah, and then I applied. We had to write in SOP, which you're currently writing for the last couple of months. Yeah, and all of that. Yeah.
Apart from that, GMAT.
No, I wasn't required to write GMAT.
Okay.
It wasn't a requirement.
So how much How much did they charge you for the application and the overall process?
The application, okay, so because I applied through a consultancy agency.
Oh, you applied to a consultancy.
Yeah. Yeah, that. And so I didn't have to pay until like I got my result, like if I got in or not. After I got in, I think I had to pay 250 SGD. Yeah. 50.
Okay, what is this whole deal with the consultancy services? Some are for it, some are against it. What do you feel?
Yeah, I
since
feel
you faced it.
Yeah, because actually this happened to a friend of mine who went to the same agency, because like me and my other friend went to the same agency, and then we got in and everything was okay. But then my other friend also went. But then like the universities that she wanted to apply, they weren't like up for it. They didn't want to apply to those, and that kind of, she was really mad because the things that they said were not the kindest. So I think if you find the right thing, and I mean, if you want, like if they're happy to apply to the places that you want to, then okay, because it's easier for you. They'll do all the paperwork. But then if there's a university that you want to apply to and they say stuff like, oh my god, you're not gonna get in, and maybe you don't have the right GPA and all of that, I think you should not listen to that and just go ahead and like apply by
Right.
yourselves. Yeah, that's it.
You're talking about paperwork. What exactly do you refer to as?
So there's a lot. No, you have to send your transcripts and your
Yeah.
all of that, and then for your visa especially, you have to send all your bank
Yeah.
details and all of that.
That's
I
a
think
big
if,
whole.
that's
Yeah.
a big. It's like a huge process, and if you're doing it by yourselves, and
It's a bit difficult.
yeah, it's difficult because you don't really have the knowledge of it.
True.
I mean, even if you do, it's kind of difficult. So if you have someone who's doing it,
It's always better with
yeah,
the experience.
yeah, with experience, and they'll
So you
know
don't make
people.
those silly mistakes.
Yeah, and they'll have contacts in in their offices, and it's easier, I feel. So yeah,
You don't miss out on anything.
yeah, you don't miss out on anything. You just have to mail it to them. They do
How
all-
how was your visa interview?
Oh, for me, no, I didn't have a visa interview.
How come?
Singapore doesn't have a visa
Okay,
interview.
I didn't know
And
this.
even like for a friend who went to UK, for her, like I think UK, one of my friend who went in didn't have an interview. She just had that biometrics card
Okay.
thing. And
How come
another
UK
friend-
never has?
I don't know. No, listen. Like another friend of mine from school, she went to UK as well. She had an interview. I think it's.
Does it depend on university? Or something?
I'm not really sure. I can't tell. I don't know, but yeah. Because even my friend who went in without an interview, she was expecting to be interviewed, but then she got done with the biometrics, and they were like, "Oh, you can go home." And then she's like, "Oh, I'm done." Are you sure? So yeah.
How was your admissions and all? You had to do something after going there, or was it everything?
No,
set
everything
now?
was done. We just had this whole orientation, and then we had to verify all our documents because we just send in. So thank God I was smart enough to take my originals because a lot of people didn't.
Yeah, even
a
me,
lot
I
of
never
people-
take my originals.
Exactly. So a lot of people don't take their originals, and they had to like get it, you know, sent.
Posted, yeah.
Yeah, get it sent because they had to like verify if what we have sent is actual.
True.
So they just
This
verified.
is I really didn't know this.
Yeah, you just, Akash, take your originals and
Yeah.
go, please. So yeah, they
Because
verified
we Indians
everything.
always like you never want to take risk, right?
Yeah, and like
Okay, so tell us about the fee structure of a university, and there's this myth, right, that it's always costly and
yeah, I mean there are options. You can obviously there are multiple options that you can take loan and everything.
I think taking a loan is becoming easier
Yeah,
day
it's
by
very
day.
easy actually. You don't, and especially now you don't even have to go to the bank. They'll come to your house
Yeah.
and help you with everything. You just have to give them your. I think you have to give them your
Documents.
acceptance
Letter from the
your
university.
offer letter. Yeah, the process is pretty easy, and yeah.
And now though I've read somewhere that when you take a student education loan, right,
Yeah.
you get to start paying after you start working after 2 years
Yeah,
when you get a
yeah,
job.
yeah. They have that option.
Okay, next is the one of the important question that I want to get an answer from. How did you find your stay and people?
Oh wow.
Did you come to know about people through internet that generally people refer to as like searching for people on the internet?
Yeah. Actually, for me, oh my God, Singapore's wow. So I usually like you have your university kind of sends you. You have some options
Suggestions.
sent from the university, and for me as well. I spoke to the person, and then they're like, okay, we'll send you a couple of places. But then they sent me a couple of them, and they were
Okay, the university gives you that suggestion.
yeah. Some universities have hostels, but then since James Cook is a private university in Singapore, they don't have that
Hostel.
hostel facility. So they have like connections with some kind of agents who'll try and help you find a place. Yeah, so that. And I was sent a couple of places, and then we kind of came to a conclusion. We found one place which was okay, but it was really expensive. And then we paid the advance,
Okay.
and I was gonna go stay there and everything. But then, like I think 2 days before I left, they sent me an email. I had paid for a single room with an attached bathroom, but then they sent me an email saying that room is taken now. You'll get a room without an attached bathroom.
2
So
days
then-
previous.
yeah, 2 days before I left. And in Singapore, like even if you take a hotel, you can check in only after 3:30.
In the morning.
No,
Afternoon.
Afternoon.
Why is that?
I don't know. It's just how it is for them. And then I was like super scared, obviously,
Obviously, yeah.
because I have no clue
Who
what
isn't
I'm
when
gonna do.
you get an email
Exactly.
like that?
And then I was like, okay, we'll figure this out. I had to go to Ritu's place to get medicines from auntie. Ritu's mom's a doctor. Her dad's a doctor as well. Ritu's going to become a doctor. She's doing her MBA, MBBS. So I told Ritu, I want medicines. And then she's like, yeah, come home. I went to Ritu's place, and Ritu, you know when you're full sad and you're about to cry and you meet a friend, you're
Yeah,
going
you
to
cry.
like break down. And then Ritu was like, what happened? And then I was like, Ritu, and then I started crying. And then auntie came and she's like, what happened? And then she's like, no, you wait, we'll figure it out. And Ritu's mom's sister is in the US, and her
Okay.
best friend is in Singapore.
Hmm.
So, and like it was during the afternoon, so it's like midnight for them, right?
Yeah.
In the US. But auntie called her sister, and she's like, no, auntie. And then she's like, no, you wait, I'm gonna speak to Simona auntie. And then she spoke to Simona auntie, and she was so kind. And she's like, no, it's okay, you come home. And I went to Simona, like I landed, and then obviously the university had sent a vehicle, and
Yeah,
yeah, they do that.
I'm hearing this for the first time. Your university
No,
is
the
pretty dope.
university will come pick you up.
It's pretty dope. I've never heard this.
No, everywhere the university comes and picks you up. And so it sent a vehicle, and then I went to Subanati. And imagine, like, she's like, I'm meeting her for the first time, but she was so nice. And I stayed there for like a week actually. And I went to the I was like really awkward because obviously it's like, but then she was so kind. She's like, no, you know, it's okay, it's like your house and all of that. I was like, yeah, auntie, thank you. And then I went to the university the next day, and then I was like, bro, what's up? Like, what's happening? And then yeah, I figured out, and I had a friend who had studied there before.
Okay,
and
you
I
knew
get a call.
someone.
Yeah, I had get a call from them, and then they're like, and then he's like, what the hell, why didn't you tell me? I was like, dude, chill, I'll figure it out. And then he's like, you chill.
But you had no clue.
Yeah, I had no clue what I was doing. I was lost, okay? Because even like going to the university, it's somewhere in the middle. I was so lost. I don't know why I didn't take a cab. I was like, I'm gonna go in the MRT. I'm gonna figure it out. Because I'd been to Singapore before, and like I knew like a little bit.
Not even if little bit.
Yeah, I didn't know.
You were there on a vacation.
Yeah, I was there on a vacation, but I didn't know like transport and all.
Look at the
so
guts. I'm like, I'm gonna
I was
figure
like,
it
I'm gonna
out.
figure it out. Shut up, okay? I went all by myself. I knew I'll figure it out. So I was like, chill, bro. I'll figure it out. And then he's like, you chill. I have a friend. I'll send him. You go, like, because I had to go collect the money from the person I paid the advance to. So he's like, you chill. You go with this person, and then you go. And then I know that dude because I had studied. Like I was in school with them.
Okay.
It's Akash.
You didn't know that he was there.
No, I didn't know because yeah. So I go there and he's still there and he's like, oh hi, you know. I was like, hi.
And that's actually really nice, no? That you find someone that you know.
Dude, seriously, I didn't know. I'd feel
And
so
especially in
happy.
your situation,
Yeah,
like everything
and
is
then-
going bad.
And then he was so nice. He was extremely nice because he had a agent who was trying to find him a place, and then he told that agent, you find her a place before you find me a place.
Oh, that's
that
so
was
sweet.
really nice. But then like those were like studio apartments, and they were like way too expensive, and I wasn't up for it. Okay. Singapore's real estate
Cost of living is high.
is crazy. Like if you have a house there, you're set for your life. Like if you have like a house that you rent, you're set for life. Okay. And yeah, so this happened, and I was like, no, I'll like figure it out, chill. And then I had to go for like my first day of orientation, and I found this girl, and then she's like, she was so we had this thing where we had to verify our documents.
Okay, yeah.
So
the
they
original
had like
document.
different rooms for different countries because it's easier because they have all their documents together. And then I found this girl, her name's, and yeah, I found this girl, and she's like, oh, I'm staying in a hostel, why didn't you come check it out? I was like, yeah, sure, I'll come, like, because anyways I was searching for places, and then I went, and it was actually really near from that aunt's
College.
place, my aunt's
Okay,
place from
uh-huh.
college. And then I went and I checked that place out, and the room was right next to hers, and it was really good. It was bigger than the hers. I was like, yay! It was really nice, and it was really nice. So I sent my mom the pictures. I was like, I really like this place, and then my mom's like, yeah, it's nice. Like for now, just book it, and then we'll figure it out after like 3 months. You can like find a better place or find something near college because this was.
That was near the college,
considerably-
no? That was near to the aunt's place.
Yeah, so this was pretty far from uni, but then I was like, you know what, like the area was beautiful. Okay, it's right next to Botanic Gardens, and like there's cold storage, which I absolutely love. It's like a supermarket kind of place. Like it's like groceries, you get everything. Okay, cold storage.
Who doesn't want to stay near a supermarket?
Yeah, it's so cool. I mean, it's not super, but yeah, it's like groceries and whatever. Wow, I love cold storage. Everyone, we used to just go there and walk and like chill. Like it used to be like a place where we go for a walk, and it was like 24 hours open. It was open for 24 hours. It was right next to the Botanic Garden, and the MRT was right there, and yeah, it was just really pretty. And so I was like, I'm going to get this place, and then I got that place. And I was supposed to leave. I was supposed to like move out after first trimester.
You got into that place.
Yeah, the weekend I had games day and stuff. It was this thing to like interact with your batchmates and like people from other
Places.
courses and everything. So I told that auntie I'm going to move out during the weekend because I'll have time to. And yeah, and then I moved out, and like that place was damn pretty. My place. I was supposed to move out after first semester, but then I really liked that place, and I found like a couple of friends who were really nice, and some of them are from Bangalore, which was really cool.
Talking about money, how much did you pay for your room? Let's talk about in Indian rupees. Let's keep it simple.
I paid a lot actually. I mean, you get places that are much more cheaper.
But you would want it to be better and
Yeah, actually I wanted to like a place for myself because it was in an area that was pretty expensive. I paid like 50k
fair enough.
for a room.
How was the room? If you feel it's worth it, then
Yeah,
always
I
go
really
for
liked it. Okay, it was I had a bunk bed and like a cute like my view was the best in the hostel. It was worth it because the area was extremely nice, and I think because of the area
It's
it's a
safer.
little more. Yeah, it was very safe. I mean, Singapore generally is safe, but like the place that I stayed was very pretty, and like the area was really nice, super nice.
How did you manage with food? By the way, do you know cooking? Or
I mean, my mom made me cook like a couple of things before I went because she's like, you have to survive Puja.
learning phase?
Yeah.
So after that, you started cooking.
Yeah, I can cook now. I'm like a pro. I can make sambar, I can make dosa, I can make chicken.
Okay, what is this myth about Indians surviving without knowing how to cook in a foreign country? You had any friends who didn't know how to cook, or
No one knows when you start. Everyone goes there and like they don't have option. They don't have an option because how long will you eat outside?
so this is a lame question, but I'm going to ask you.
You
How do you
always ask
find the
lame questions.
difference? How do you find the difference in the education system in India and Singapore? I know you've done your bachelor's here and master's
Yeah,
there.
but I think like
Comparison wise,
I think this is just. I mean maybe it's different. I mean I don't think it's different. I think it's a lot more. You have to do a lot of work when you
Coursework.
yeah. There's a lot of coursework and like all your assignments and all, and that require a lot of like reading and research
Self-study.
as much as not as much as like how much you do here. Because we
Here
don't
it's
have a
focused
lot
on
of
the-
assignments. Yeah, it's basically majority exams and there as well. But then the coursework and like the amount of work you need to put into like one
the
assignment
research work and all is
insane
better.
because you need to read so many papers and all. I think that we don't do here, and you do that. I think when you do like your IB and IGCSE and everything, but otherwise we just
Focus on exams.
focus on exams, and that's what we do basically. But I think yeah, when you go off and like when you go for the first time, you're like, oh, I can't copy paste anymore. Not anymore. I'll have to have a hearing with the court and all if you plagiarize. It is like yeah, but I think you'll get the hang of it after you
Once
do
you
a
start
couple of assignments. It's not that difficult actually, because you have that. But exactly because we're used to studying so much, we're used to reading and all a lot as well, right? So
Which do you feel is better, this or that?
I think that because
A lot of self-study.
there's a lot of self-study, and it's like I think the process is like you have like you're given an assignment and you have to figure out what it is, and it's just so much work you do by yourself, and because you're a part of the entire process, you tend to remember what you did
Yeah.
for a longer period of time than just studying like one particular
true.
this thing. So I think that is it's a lot more helpful, and yeah, you get like there are so many times where there are assignments where I've been like, oh my god, I can't do this, and I've even called my friend. I was like, listen, I'm so dumb, like I can't figure this out. I've like made the biggest mistake
Everyone
of my life.
faces that.
Yeah, dude, and like especially like my last trimester, I think I've been in so much dilemma. I was like, I can't do this only. Like, what is this assignment? I'm like done. I can't do any more assignments. And my friend is like, dude, calm down. You figure it out, and actually, you will figure it out.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not
Just
that difficult.
you get hang of time.
Yeah, and like it's also like I think your head is like plays games with you where you're just like, oh my god, am I doing this right?
It's
And,
like I always face this. Okay, you write 3 questions and then if you don't, even in an exam, right? You read the questions start. Okay, first question, yeah. Second and third question, if you don't know, and you wrote the rest of the questions, you're like, shit, this paper is going to be bad.
yeah, exactly. Like, yeah, it's so weird. And then like because I mean, I've done assignments in my first, second, third trimester, and the last trimester, I'm just like, oh my god, is this even right? I remember like my final assignment, my final paper that I had to write. I was like so done. I just finished it. Like I finished it really fast. I was like, oh, I'm done with this. I don't have to do any more coursework and like no more assignments in my life. And then I read it and I read it.
You were happy about it.
No, I was like, this is shit. This is absolutely. It's not what I've written. And then I had to like, I'd read it the entire thing
Then
because
change.
it was, yeah. And I remember I was like, I was so disappointed in myself. But then, yeah, the end product was nice because I was like,
I've read that.
finished. Yeah, so. Yeah, that was the paper that I had sent to all of you because
Yeah.
I was so unsure. I was like, does this make sense? And then, yeah.
And that took, reading took a lot of effort because I had to hold a dictionary.
Yeah, but no, but that was because that's not the subject that you've studied. It was some law subject. It was a taxation. I mean, yeah. So that
But
was
the
a law
paper was
subject.
really nice.
I don't know why I do that too.
Okay, so how is the ratio of the natives there over other people coming into the universities and
There are a lot of people in Singapore actually.
any
And-
country in particular where
Okay, so Singapore is like I think 80% Chinese.
yeah,
Yeah, if I'm not wrong, I don't know if it's 80%, but they have a majority
of Chinese.
Chinese natives that live in Singapore, and then they have Malaysians, and then they have
What about Indians?
They have
What
a
about
lot of Indians and everything.
Let's talk about a more controversial topic, bullying.
No, dude.
Being an Indian, did you face any?
Nothing. I mean, I don't know if it's
This everyone asks. I don't know why. Like
think
everyone
it's
is scared when going to foreign university. Like, what about?
no.
Is it the move?
They're
So it was
really
fine.
nice. Everyone's really nice there. Everyone's like, I think like it's different from place to place also. And Singapore has some really hard charges on everything. Everything. So they
So-
don't do anything. I mean, it's not like I mean, there's no crime at all. But there are.
But then it's a
but they're
minimum.
very few and like they have like really hard charges, which is a really good thing.
So she was one of the people who wrote exams with a mask. How was that?
Oh, that was my last semester.
Oh my god,
dude.
is it only me or you feel suffocation as well once you wear a mask?
Yeah, I
it's
think
very
it's
difficult
the
to breathe.
beginning, like once in like because you're not used to it. Now I'm really used to it because I don't.
You
like
have
that.
to.
Yeah.
We have reached a point in time
Yeah,
where
where
we have
like I'm used to it now, but yeah.
But how was writing exam with a mask?
I think the first few. I mean, when like I was not stressed and all, it was okay. But then one particular exam, I was so claustrophobic, and it was so difficult. But yeah, it was. Thank God, it was during the end of the exam, so it was okay. I finished it, and it was just not just me. Like my whole batch, I think should be like rewarded. We should be given like a medal for being yeah, for writing those exams during those times. It was really stressful because it was starting, and Singapore is a pretty small country. It's smaller than Bangalore. Okay, so like if the cases start, they just start. I mean,
And they spread
start,
like anything.
But Singapore did an incredible job in
Yeah.
containing the virus. Because they worked like right from the beginning, they like raised the DOSCON level to orange and everything like. But then the masks and everything was sold out everywhere, and like they started like the prices started.
That was initially right.
That was
because
initially, and
we had no clue. No one had no clue, and whatever
yeah, but
stocks.
yeah, everything was like sold out because once like they raised the DOSCON level, everyone kind of freaked out, and like everything was gone, and like the prices on online shops like started increasing, but the government kind of you know took them down, and like all those shops that were selling for some crazy price, and